I'm out here at this mobile home that was repossessed by the bank. Now the bank came out here and tried to get everything up to code, but they didn't get everything up to code. One thing they did was they built this new deck on here, and as you can see that it has a really substandard beam going across here, support beam. This is just a 2x6, and as you can see, they've just got one 2x6 nailed or screwed into that center post and the end post. But a 2x6 is not going to cut it. Number one, you at least need a 2x8. I would put a 2x10 if it were me and double it up. But as you see, there's only 3 screws that's holding this centerpiece up. This whole span is being held up by nothing more than 3 looks like galvanized screws. And what you should at least have at a bare minimum is 2 5/8 hot dip galvanized through bolts going all the way through. That way it would at least improve the shear strength. You don't have really that much shear strength with three screws. And ideally you would want this notched out and have a 2x8 or a 2x10 sitting on top of this, so you don't have to worry about shear strength at all. Ideally, you would want 2x8, 2x10 notched out, sitting on top of the post with 2 5/8 bolts going all the way through bolts. That's ideal. I can't believe they went through and put all these posts in concrete, bought all this lumber, and just go cheap on the beam. I just don't understand it. Another thing that you don't see under here is on top of that you have these joists just relying solely on the shear strength of screws being driven in. There's no joist hangers whatsoever. Here you can see they have 3 screws, and that's all that's holding these joists up. What you should have is a hanger like they have fastened on these steps. But as you can see, we go back here, we're going to see that there is not a single hanger on these joists. Now, the code lets you have an option of having either hangers or a ledger strip. And that's a strip of wood, usually a 2x2, that runs across the bottom here. And as you can see, the ledger board, it's really not a ledger board because it's really freestanding. It's just a freestanding deck, which should be on a mobile home. You should never have the ledger board attached to the mobile home and not have these posts here. In other words, you should be able to pick up this mobile home and move it right out of the way, and the deck should stay in place. So I just can't understand why they put all these posts in concrete and did the right thing. They didn't attach a ledger board to the mobile home. They put the post here up against it for the proper support. But here, as you can see, there's only two screws holding this side of this joist up, and that's just not going to cut it. Like I say, the code lets you either put joist hangers or a ledger strip, and you cannot put a ledger strip here at all because of the there's just no room for it. See, it's going all the way to the bottom here. All the way, there's just no room for it, so you'd have to put the joist hangers. But I just want to make a quick video and show you that, brand new decks are not necessarily built right to code. I mean, there's just no ledger board. You don't have adequate support. This is really going to fail after a while. And some other things here that you'll see, it's just shoddy work. I don't know, they probably got the lowest bidder to do this. But you see this screw, and you should have a couple of screws. They should be staggered here. But you've got one screw that's not even, they didn't even screw it into the rim joist here. And it's just it's just substandard work. Now I'm gonna keep on walking around. I mean, they just really lay the concrete to this thing. And you know, and all in all, you know, these posts are fine. You know, these stairs are fine. We like to see, you know, the risers, you know, covered up, but there's a lot of places here that they don't even, you know, don't even by code even ask for them. But anyway, I'm gonna take you around here, and I'm gonna show you these basic steps. Now, you know, looking at this, man, it looks, wow, it looks great. This looks like a really well built. You know, they've got the stringers off the ground here. You know, so they don't rust. They won't rot into the ground. Poured it in concrete. The problem here is that, once again, there are no hangers or ledger board. Now you can't put a ledger board under here. There's enough room. You could put a 2x4 if you wanted to. You could just, you know, you have to do something with those. But you know, the hangers are the preferable way to go. And as you can see, there's a wasp nest, and I almost got my hand in it. So we're going to back away. There's another wasp nest. And that's one thing. It's one of the dangers of the jobs here. You got to start watching out when it starts getting warmer weather. You're going to see more wasp, and for some reason they just love this new construction. But anyway, as you see here, you've just got substandard, you know, construction. They've actually got this baluster screwed in to the tread itself. It's not even screwed in to the stringer, which is really not good. You know, like I say, all kind of defects, you know, and like I say, these decks will last for a while. You know, you can jump up and down on them for a long time, but eventually they're just going to give way. It's just a real dangerous situation. Here we go again. Same thing here. They just threw it together. No ledger boards, no hangers. Of course, you can't put ledger board. I mean, you can't put a ledger strip underneath these. There's just not enough room. And once again, we were walking over here. Our balusters. Got one there. This one here is just screwed right into the tread, which is wrong. And as you can see, this right here is loose. You know, it's just shoddy work. You know, right there's another one that's loose. Here's one that's split. It needs to be replaced, especially up here high up as we are. You know, a child could, you know, easily go through that. You know, it's really important the higher up you go. But anyway, I just wanted to show everybody that, you know, whatever home inspector that you pick, be sure that you watch them to get under every structure, even if it's brand new. Just because it's brand new doesn't mean it's the code, doesn't mean it's right. Whether or not it's new, 10 years old, it's a mobile home, it's $1 million house, a $10 million house, you know, it all really needs to be checked out.